Hello and welcome to a tutorial on how to build a solar system using CoSpaces, Tinkercad, and Google Poly. Okay, the first thing you're going to want to do is load up a blank space in Tinkercad. Obviously my space is complete here. I'm going to be using it to describe what we're going to do. Second thing you're going to want is your picture of the planets for relative sizes. And depending on how you want to do this, you can either load up Google Poly to grab your planets, or you can use the downloaded package, which I've included, there it is right there, in the tutorial. So these have the planets all ready to go. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. I'm going to move that out of the way. I am then going to move the sun out of the way because we just need to make sure you can see exactly what's going on. And the most important thing to really notice here is that we start in the center of the grid at 0, 0. You can see, if I just zoom out a bit, that is this very center of my grid, and that's where the sun is going to be placed. Don't worry about the sun for now. We're going to do that a little bit later in Tinkercad. But the first thing we want to do is we want to make sure that our planets are evenly spaced. And I'm just going to lower Mercury down here. And you can see these grids are split up into sections of 5. So there's 5 there, there's 10 there, there's 15 there, and there's 20. So you want Mercury to be exactly at 20, actually minus 20 on the x-axis. So I'm just going to zoom out a little bit, and I am going to just put my Mercury planet back up where it was before. And I'm just going to move my CoSpaces over a little bit, and I'm going to locate Mercury, and I'm just going to highlight both models here, and all you do is you drag them into the window, and you release, and click Got It, and you can see that Mercury is now in there. While I am here, I am actually going to bring in Venus as well. So I'm going to double click Venus, highlight both models, bring them in, release, and click Got It there. Okay, so I'm just going to close this up and get us back into CoSpaces. Okay, once I am here, I'm just going to click down on my spacebar and pan a little bit. I'm going to get my models a little bit bigger, so obviously that is too small. I'm going to get it to about what size I think Mercury should be. I'm just kind of looking at my diameter of planets there. And then I'm going to also bring up Venus and kind of get it to the size I think it should be. So maybe about that looks right. Okay, so I'm just going to count out 5, 10, 15, 20, and place Mercury on 20 there, and then I'm just going to go up by tens. So all I'm going to do is place Venus at 10 up from that. So there's 25 and 30 right there. So I'm just going to place it right on 30. Okay, you can see basically these two models are sitting exactly where I want them. Then all you do is you bring in your other models, Earth, Mars, and so forth, until you have all of your models all ready to go along their path along your x-axis. You might have to play a little bit around with how far you space them. So yeah, it's a little bit of trial and error to make sure that they are correctly placed. I'm just going to lower this one down a tiny bit. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is, of course, whenever we bring a model in, I'm just going to two-finger click on my trackpad, and we have to go to the tag here, and then we're going to have to name it, and this would be called, obviously, Mercury, and then I have to click on Use in CoBlocks Blockly right there. That way I will be able to use it in my coding when I'm going to code in the rotation of the planets. So I am going to, I think probably what I'll do is I'll just erase these two right here, and I'll let you get started on placing all of your planets along in your line. Don't worry about the sun, we're going to do that last, and we'll come back to the second video and we'll start coding the planets to move around.